What's happening, guys? Yeah, just more rambling about actually serious things now. Yeah, the World Health this is today now. The World Health Organization. People there, they want to visit China again to find the origins of the virus. It's kicked off like fucking over a year ago now. So if they go there, it's not as if they're gonna find anything new. That was my first thought. So then, basically, the next thing out of their mouth was they don't think they're gonna find anything. This is what the reporter said. They don't think they're gonna find anything new by actually going there. What they're gonna do is examine existing data. So, like I said before, it came from bats or pangolins and then mutated to a human. That, like, what they're doing, they're revisiting that guess. Like, and to be honest with you, the World Health Organization has big, like, it's like a really, like, controversial organization. Donald Trump was on about actually pulling out of the World Health Organization before this pandemic kicked off. He was talking massively about reducing funding. He almost kicked off war because of it. Like, because every country in the world is part of the World Health Organization, but its finances and its funding paperwork, or like trail, whatever you want to call it, is very, very dodgy. Like, it's like as if they have a hidden agenda. Yeah, Donald Trump has actually threatened, before the pandemic now, he threatened to come out, which adds weight to the fact that I think this pandemic is being planned, the plandemic, because you've got to think, when people like just forget, what's happening now is just, like, it's just like, when something's happening now, people listen. But then they forget about what happened in the past, which made things lead up to this point. We are at this point in global pandemic right now. But prior to that, immediately prior to that, there was a trade war going on between the United States of America, and by proxy all of us lot, the West of Europe, and China. Donald Trump openly said, I am declaring a trade war on China. So, like, you know, don't you think that fucking, like, importing and exporting of goods is part of that trade war? So, like, the pandemic happened in the midst of that trade war. So it's like, was that pandemic used as an excuse then to mask the fact that we now have no fucking money? Do you know what I mean? Because China, you know, well, America were the ones who started the trade war. China then think of it. If you're the leader of China, wow, we in a trade war. Well, that Donald Trump, that scam. So what we gonna do? We gonna go pandemic style. We gonna release pandemic on one of our citizens, because we don't give a shit about our citizens. We got no ethics or human rights. We infect a few of them, chuck them on a plane to America, or chuck them on and then the world shuts down. And then you want to play with China? China gonna play rough. That's basically the way it's gone in my. It's one of my trains of thought. Like, do you know what I mean? Just because I got like trains of thought doesn't mean like that's what I think is most likely happening. But like, my personal opinion is that I think I don't know. Maybe possibly America dropped the fucking were the ones who released the virus, because they got a lot of form in fucking false flag attacks, problem, reaction, solution. Like, let me explain a false flag attack to you if you don't already know what that means. It's like, fucking, right, your intention, right, is to do something really fucking awful, or do something massively fucking important that's going to affect loads of people, but you know those people are going to have a big resistance against it, and you're going to say, fucking, what did you do that for? So, if you want to do that, and you don't want those people to aim their anger at you, you fucking make something happen covertly, and then blame it on someone else, so that their anger gets directed at the other fucking target, so that people are in a tizzle, and then eventually the people are crying out, do something, please do something about this problem that you created. And then you do the thing that you wanted to do originally. So basically, create the problem, incite the reaction, and then offer the solution. And the solution seems to be like that fucking, they don't want people kicking off at the fact that we got fuck all no more. I mean, China has already fucking created a cryptocurrency that bypasses the US dollar to trade for oil. The Chinese cryptocurrency, it looks as if like most of the world has taken that on as a way of paying for oil, right? It used to be the SWIFT payment system. I used to work in the bank, so I know these things. It used to be the SWIFT payment system, which took a number of hours, sometimes 24 hours, to make bank transactions. China, and the only way you used to be able to pay, well, the only way you could still legally pay by oil is using dollars. It's called the petrodollar. You know, this is all fact. Look it up. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, if you're fucking, say, for example, I don't know, Colombia, and you want to buy fucking 400 barrels of oil from Afghanistan or from fucking Iraq, you then need to change your Colombian currency. You need to exchange your Colombian currency into dollars so that you can pay Afghanistan to buy their oil. It's called the petrodollar. Like, look it up. And so like, obviously that means that America has got a massive advantage, huge advantage, a monopoly really, on money, because you can't buy any sort of fuel that for your cars, for your fucking machinery, if you're a country, unless you buy US dollars to trade them for it. So America's had the system rigged since World War II. That's the way they've done it. And then in 1970s, because dollars used to be backed by gold, see? Now it's backed by fuck all. It's just paper and plastic, and digits on the screen. So like in the 70s, Richard Nixon did the gold shock, which basically, like, so the dollars are not even fucking backed by gold anymore, and they haven't been for a long time. This Chinese cryptocurrency, they say, is backed by real assets. I think it's just so what are these real assets, China? Are they like fucking, if you can't see what they are, then they're worth fuck all to me, and in the eyes of any sort of investor, really. I mean, investing is just using logic. It's just that me being a lower class serf in Swansea, I never had any capital to have the chance to invest on that level. So do you know what I mean? So the game is rigged anyway. But basically, like, I'd like to go back to this fucking thing with China. Like, they're sending in people to find out the source of the virus, right? Now, unless they fucking find, like, a little, like, I done it note, like, in Wuhan, like whoever, like, first got the virus, whoever fucking infected the first person, like, I released the COVID. And unless someone wrote a note like that, you're not going to find out the origins of it. I mean, what they're going to look at existing data. So they're going to look at fucking all those pangolins and bats that they tested for. They probably did, because they do keep an eye on wildlife. But if they're fucking now admitting that they're just guessing, they guessed about that fucking bat theory, that pangolin theory, that tells me, that adds even more weight to the fact that it's a biological weapon. I want to look into the fact that, who's this World Health Organization? Why did Trump want to come out? Is that part of the trade war? Is it like fucking, is it actually fucking geopolitics? Because, like, why would Trump ask to come out with the World Health Organization? Like, is it because he's an idiot, or is it because there's fucking ulterior motives? And, like, those people, these are the ones in charge of the vaccines. These are the ones in charge of your health. So the World Health Organization is therefore massively, the World Health Organization issues a fucking instruction, the NHS carries it out. So basically, they're in charge of the NHS as well. And another thought I had, right, is that this virus is going to fucking overwhelm our NHS, right, just at the time as we're coming out of Brexit. And who's been after our NHS for such a long time? Who's been looking to carve up and privatise our NHS? It's the Americans. So, like, exactly at the time Brexit's happening, when we're fucking pulling away from Europe, as America wanted us to, our NHS is potentially at its worst point in its history, looking to, you know, it may not survive, like, and the way money is now, like, how are we getting income? Like, how is the world still continuing to trade? Like, if there's lockdown, they must not care on the border, like, because we can't support ourselves with food. And also, like, I want to think, like, I don't even care talking about it, because it's just happening. How are we fucking still able to get drugs and fucking illegal shit like that? It's as if they want us to, because fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, how are they getting into the country? The way I see it, right, pharmaceutical companies, the big pharmaceutical companies, they are the ones that are producing the illegal drugs as well. You can't tell me they've got like stacks and stacks of opium, right, in like a fucking in a pharmacological whatever factory that they're making dihydrocodeine, morphine, all that with. You can't tell me like someone in that same factory isn't fucking making heroin as well, because that's a derivative of fucking opiate. And as far as like I'm concerned, like the people in charge, they without morals, they don't care, and drugs are a control system. So like fucking maybe only the lower class get arrested for possession and fucking distribution, but who's fucking distributing the fucking to the distributors? Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't take away our drugs, because like it's like, what other pleasure would we have? But that's the way I see it. It's like fucking, and there's a lot of evidence to show that when we went to Afghanistan and Iraq, we went to Iraq to rob their oil, and we went to Afghanistan to rob their opium poppy fields. So like fucking our army basically it goes around the world taxing people for their shit, and that's why I think we're a pretty banging country actually. But what I'd like to say is that it's getting less banging by the day. I don't like the way things are going, and I am going to carry on talking about it. But I want other people to talk about it with me, so that basically, like, you know, it's not just me that can perceivably just be seen as like, he's off his head, and he fucking hell, when did he jump off a deep end? Like, I've always been this crazy. I've always had these thoughts, but now I feel like I can talk about them more fucking more accurately. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. RonaRadioTV on YouTube. If you'd like to have a conversation, get on the show. I'd love to have a chat with you.